Hi guys, my name's Kelvin Hind, IFBB Pro, runner-up at the 2023 Masters Olympia, and I'm going to take you through some of my favourite workouts. You can find me on Instagram or YouTube at Coach Kelvin. Today we're going to train quads. We're here at Destination Gym in Stoke. I like to start with the hack squat for my quads. Generally speaking, I'll probably do hamstrings on the same day as quads. So I generally start with a lying leg curl, get the knees warmed up. I find that really warms the knees up without putting any tension through the tendons. I like to use a narrow stance with my feet as low as I possibly can. If you have your feet too high, you're going to restrict the range of movement you've got. So you have your feet nice and low, and we should be able to collapse right down so the hamstrings are touching the calves and then come all the way up. And we're going to go narrow to hit the outer sweep of the quads. You've got a couple of alternatives for this. I'd like to use the pendulum squat, or you could just simply use a leg press. But the idea would be I'd start with a narrow stance, using my feet low on whatever apparatus I'm going to use to get a full range of motion, target the quads, and specifically the outer quads. For the second exercise for quads, I like to use what I call a sumo stance, which is a wider stance. So we're going to point the toes out to 30 degrees, and the knees are going to follow your second toe out. And that's going to hit the inner thigh. Now, this is the Jim Lecco hip press, which allows you to get a lot of tension up for the top of the quads. So I like to use this. Again, though, alternatives could be the belt squat. This is really good for this. Or you can do a standard leg press where you sit at 45 degrees. You can even use the hack squat. Anything where you're going to use pigeon toed out into a sumo stance is going to hit that inner thigh. Are you looking to target fat loss but struggling for energy during low calories? Here's my secret stack, the Inferno stack. Cardarine, SLU, and 5-amino. These are going to help you break down fat and use it as an energy source whilst during low calories. I can't tell you how much these have helped my training. Get onto the website, use my code KELV25 for 25% off. Third quad exercise we're going to use is going to be one where I can do isolated legs, so I'm going to do one at a time. And it's also going to target a little bit more glutes. So here I'm going to do the Smith machine split squat. You can do a dumbbell split squat. You can do walking lunges. The idea is we're going to target a little bit more glute on this one. So we're going to have the foot quite far forward, pressing through the heel. It's also going to allow us to use a single leg. So if you have got an imbalance, you can make sure that both legs are working equally. That is true on any of the other leg exercises. I wouldn't do it on a pendulum squat or a hack squat. You can certainly do it on a leg press or a leg extension, which we're going to do next. The final exercise for quads is going to be the leg extension. Now, some people can start with this. It does isolate the quads. And if you are struggling to engage the quads, that might be a good idea. But it just irritates my knee. So I prefer to do it at the end, go a bit lighter, do a few more reps. Now, the key is to get a full range of motion. So get as deep as you can into the movement. This is your prime machine, and you've got the options of changing where the resistance profile is. So number one keeps the resistance all the way through. Number two puts resistance more at the top end range, which is where I like to start on this one because I'm working through the end. And number three puts more resistance at the bottom and it backs off towards the end. So I'm going to start on number two. Nice and controlled. And it starts to get harder, squeeze to the top. On my second set, I'll go towards the end. So this time it's going to feel a bit heavier here as I get fatigued, and it'll back off and allow me to get right to the top. If you haven't got one of these machines, all I suggest is just going nice controlled, squeezing through the top range and really focusing on the contraction at the top. You've got most of them building exercises through the pressing stuff we've already done. This one's just to finish off, just to bring out that last bit of detail in the quads.